So what I'm doing tonight is a little bit off format because the piece that I'm reading that I actually wrote before I discovered the influence. But honestly, the piece that I'm reading is about dual identity in a postmodern world. And I think that when white guys start doing that work, we all end up in a similar situation where we land on the continent of postmodern identity. And we're like, oh, we discovered this continent. And then it turns out that women, people of color, have been living there for like 50,000 years. And they've like invented, the Electoral College and Quiznos already. And we're like, oh, I discovered this Quiznos. Jun Togawa, born March 31st, 1961, according to Wikipedia. She came into the Japanese music and entertainment scene at around the same time that scene was being systematized, that the idol system was being put into place for the first time. That was around 1978. So as a result, she was handed these songs that were written for her about loving her boyfriend. She was handed acting roles in soap operas. Her most famous role was in a TV commercial for a new squirting toilet, where she giggled. And somewhere between 1978 and 1982, either she got kicked out or she kicked herself out. She was just too weird to stick with it. And she went back to her punk band roots, and she re-emerged around 1984 as a living, breathing, fully functioning flesh satire of a Japanese female pop idol. In a way that was alternately hilarious and terrifying for everyone who must have witnessed it. I think women in all parts of the world have been doing this for a while, and we're especially doing it at that point. Betty Davis was sexually objectifying her ex-husband Miles Davis. He was a big freak. Nina Hagen in Berlin was doing songs that she wrote when she was 17 about getting an abortion and questioning who can tell me my duty as a woman. There's another Japanese pop idol, Sandy, was just being really fucking sexy without bringing her own agency into it, saying like, I am a sexual being and you can just deal with it. Jun Togawa was doing something different. What Jun Togawa was doing was she was taking the existing stereotypes and she was crawling up their ass and she was exploding. And she was daring you to be aroused by it. So her characters that she inhabits, the geisha, the subservient geisha, the sex robot, the murder victim, the crazed woman, the little girl, all these women who appeared in Japanese pop culture as objects to be desired by men, all of them having in common that they were women stripped of their own agency. And she was just fully inhabiting them and staring at you right in the eyes, and she's saying like, so this turns you on? This is what you want? Jun Togawa, I posit, saw that when society objectifies you, it also reveals some weakness to you. That masturbating in public is a sign of privilege and power, but it also shows where you probably don't want to get kicked in. So the piece I'm going to read to you of hers, these are lyrics to her song Barbara Sexoroid, which is one of her many songs about sex robots. I don't speak Japanese, so this is a translation that is presented to me by the internet, by the Jun Togawa bilingual community at tagawajun.net. This is from the 1987 album Keikaku by her band Yahoos, which is a fucking excellent album. I recommend you look it up. An air car rushes through the light tube highway at night. A Type 8 sexoroid, a high-quality replicant. Just a manufactured design. I am a machine with no civil liberties. I receive my directive. Go to room B. A Type 8 sexoroid, a high-quality replicant. Every day, the morning never comes. Your data has been downloaded. I will give you what you desire. You don't need your pride. Tonight, I'll show you something much more valuable. Codename, Barbara. I am unfamiliar with love or loneliness. I have no need for such useless features. A type 8 sexoroid, a high-quality replicant. It's just the cost of existence. I am a machine with no civil liberties. I am not programmed to feel shame. A type 8 sexoroid, a high-quality replicant. Every day, the night continues. I will give you whatever you want. Whatever you want. What does it mean to be proud and willful? Does that sound too pessimistic? That's right, I am an optimist. Codename, Barbara. I've never had any complaint in bed. Not once in my life. Now the piece that I'm going to read you is something that these are lyrics that I wrote back in 2006. And at this point in my life, I was kind of at the opposite end of privilege, by which I mean that I was a remix artist, which is kind of like pretty high up on the privilege ladder, if you've got that kind of spare time. I enjoyed it, but I was starting to see cracks. All my friends around the global community who were remix artists were also straight, white, cisgender dudes. And the vibe that I got from every project that any one of us worked on was that it had this weird kind of jock, like high school jock athletic tone to it, except instead of being really good at sports, we were all just really good at having like high concepts. It was just really a lot about like unzipping your pants and measuring your concept. It's like, you know, your friends would be intimidated. And I was fine with that for a long time because I had, you know, a lot of really big concepts. And then at some point, a friend of a friend invited me to do a remix for a compilation that he was putting together of all remixes of birdsong, recordings of his own pet bird. And to me, this was like the last straw. Just imagining like 10 dudes gathered in a circle, looking at the songbird singing, pants unzipped, and being like, oh, I can do better than that. And so I wanted to exploit the politics of the situation by crawling inside them and exploding in a way that I will later see that Jun Togawa had been doing for decades. So what that meant that I had to do, apparently, is that I had to use my own character. This cat, MC Cat Genius. I was going to write a song in which MC Cat Genius attempted to seduce the bird, Cage Song. As an ultimate testament to the subtext and the text of remix cultural politics. Something else that I was doing with my lyrics at this time was embedding as many subtle references as possible, the idea being that if a reference that was kind of hard to get would make you seem cool and powerful, that a reference that was actually impossible to get would make you seem like maximally cool. So I've actually written some annotations for my reading tonight. Can I get a volunteer from the audience to hold these up for me? Right here, thank you.
You're welcome. What do I do?
Just come up here on stage. All right.
I'll sit over there.
Okay.
That was all.
And what's your name?
Christina.
We have a round of applause for Christina. So actually, what I'll have you do is when I gesture to you, I'll have you hold this up and read it out loud in case people can't see it.
Okay. I'm going to read it out loud, or you're going to read it out loud?
You should read it out loud.
Okay.
So, now one other thing I'll say about this is that I think that everyone else involved in this bird remix project understood the same thing about the cultural politics that were happening, but they all got that it was part of the joke. Like, the bird didn't care. But I took it really personally, and also I had this really big concept that I wanted to get out. So these are the lyrics to MC Cat Genius's remix of the Bird Cage Song, with Christina holding up annotations. There'll also be some music cues so you know when to imagine guitar riffs happening in your head. Not yet. I saw your JPEG, and this is from the point of view of the cat. We're all clear? This is a cat singing to a bird. Okay. There's some stuff in here, like politically, that I just don't agree with anymore. I think like it's well written, but like morally. But since it's only moral issues that I have, I'm going to go ahead and read it. I saw your JPEG, so hot like Hunan, but still I thought to keep my schlong inside my Zubaz. Before I plow you, I'd like to wow you and show you why my face is on those yogurt tube snacks.
In this universe, MC Cat Genius invented Go-Gurt.
Yes, I'm a cat with many traits that have been known to entrance. My raps, my fame, my hats, my mane. The fact, in any neighborhood, I always eat good.
Boasting about knowing Applebee's locations.
And the way that I play this guitar real good, like so.
Guitar riff.
Cool. I know a lot of riffs. Soon I'll be flossing my brand new sweater. It's just for you, you exotic hottie with a small round puffy body made of feathers. And I've decided how you'll be rided. I'll sing in cat languages before I bang you, miss. I brought my Maine Coon game to this mix.
The Maine Coon cat is the largest breed of house cat.
Yes, the innocence of animals grants us secrets like...
Bird chirp.
Uh-huh. And that's that one again.
Bird chirp.
Say what?
Bird chirp.
Okay.
Bird chirp.
Shut up. And I guess this mean star Hagen... Okay, this one's complicated.
Thousands Japanese art movement, Nienstar Hagen, German for Finch.
Won't be Hagen the mic.
Nienster Hagen, Nina Hagen.
Okay, now one more. And if this is like a triple reference, so.
Nina Hagen album name, Woonbin Hagen, the mic won't be Hagen.
If we do it duet style, while I scope out your butt.
But.
Dajiki, new pick was packing some heat.
Dajiki, another remix artist, recommended Piccolo, aka MC Cat Genius.
Geese Wansomflong held this shit back just for me.
Geese Wanson Plum.
What's it's G Wansomflong.
Okay. Curator of remixes and bird owner delayed the deadline.
Cage-son, your song was good, but my authority says rough drafts are never perfect, unless you're a genius. I'm back for my hop, fool.
Previous MC Cat Genius track was about pancakes.
So watch as I drop a new indescribable remix.
Guitar riff.
Okay, let me get out the sheet music. Me, 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 me.
Bird and cat duet in their native tongues.
Okay.
Bird continues.
Take off your... Whoa, what are all these notes? Wait, no, I looked at it on the way over and it didn't have this part. You must have given me the wrong copy. No, I intentionally didn't rehearse because I didn't want to sound too rehearsey.
Bird continues.
Look, the only reason you're so good at singing is because you care about it and you practice all the time. There's no value to that. It's totally different from being a genius.
Bird continues.
Well, I guess I'm not as technically good as you because I'm not a musical fascist. Please stop showing off on my track. You know what? Fuck this. Okay.
Guitar riff.
Who can tell me my duty as a remixing cat? Can you? Fuck you! I'll coast forever on my novelty act. If you assholes want new tracks, suck them out of my dick. Dajiki couldn't hang with this scene.
Dajiki did not complete a remix.
Geese Wansomflong can eat my ass with a straw.
Geese Wansimfong. Obscene non sequitur.
Cage slut, you'll forgive yourself with time. And you Keigo rip-off repricks.
Keigo ripoff. Keigo Oyamada, aka influential Japanese producer Cornelius.
I know one more. Repricks.
Remix and prick.
Only get one line.
Classic metadisc.
I just sold your comp for you.
I declare that this will be the only noteworthy track on the remix compilation.
Because that's what I do with my indescribable genius.
Genius.
Thank you very much.